What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Freakeasy Gaming and welcome to another Fallout 4 video. In today's Fallout 4 video, I am going to be talking about all the survival mode details coming with the new survival mode coming to Fallout 4. For those of you that do not know, Fallout 4 is getting a remade survival mode because in the beginning of the game's lifespan, a lot of fans were disappointed with the Fallout 4 survival mode because they assumed it would be similar to the hardcore mode in Fallout New Vegas, where it required your character to sleep, eat, and drink to survive. However, the survival mode for Fallout 4 only increased the difficulty in terms of damage dealt and taken. Not too long after the game was released, a player found a bunch of hidden files about the Fallout 4 survival mode and he posted them online. Then the official Fallout 4 Twitter account posted a link online to the discussion on Reddit, confirming it to be true, but also warning that they were still working on new features for survival mode. Now, they then began to say in the description for the survival mode that survival appends many of the rules of life in the Commonwealth for maximum challenge, which basically means in this new survival mode coming to Fallout 4, it is going to follow a lot of the rules of life where you have to do things like eat, drink, and sleep to survive, among other things that I will talk about later in this video. Now these sort of features include, but are not limited to, Wade ammo. Now, Wade ammo is basically going to be what it says. Ammo is now going to take up weight in your inventory. There's going to be a small update to the compass in the game. Enemies will no longer appear on your compass as that red mark sort of in the compass. You will now only be able to see the enemies with your eyes. You will no longer get that little red compass down below, but I believe the compass will still be there to guide you north, east, south, and west. Then they are also going to add an adrenaline perk, which basically as soon as you sort of put the game into survival mode, you will get an adrenaline perk which provides a bonus to your damage output as long as you are in combat inside the game. They are then going to release an antibiotics which can be crafted at chems or purchased from doctors, which heal the various effects of sickness, which will be added into the game, and I'll talk about more in a second. Bed types. The type of bed you're sleeping in determines the length of time you are able to stay asleep. So basically, I picture if you do not own that bed or that bed is not within one of your settlements, you will not get a well-rested bonus from that bed, and your character may have some small sleep deprivation effects still looming on his body. Crippled limbs. Crippled limbs will no longer auto-heal after combat and will remain crippled until healed by a stim pack. So no longer will you be able to eat fruit and just get your health up and your limbs will go back to normal. You will now need to use a stim pack on your limbs if they become crippled inside of combat. Now, carry weight. Exceeding your carry weight reduces endurance and agility stats, which basically means if you're carrying a lot, you become over encumbered. However, along with becoming over encumbered, it will also affect your endurance and your agility stats, which kind of sucks in my opinion. Companions will no longer automatically get back up if down during combat and will return home if abandoned without being healed, which basically means if you're in a firefight and your companion goes down, you will need to pick him up. He will no longer get back up on his own. Even after the firefight is over, you will still need to pick that companion up with the stim pack and help him out, or else he will return back to his house or his settlement or wherever you really place them at. They are also going to add a new enemy and loot repopulation system, which basically locations you've cleared will now repopulate enemies and loot at a significantly slower rate. For those of you that do not know, enemies respawn within 14 in-game days within Fallout 4. So if you go to a location, you kill a bunch of enemies, you take all their supplies, and you go somewhere and you wait 14 days, when you go back, those enemies will be there once again. However, with this new survival mode, it seems like they are going to double that time. It seems like it might take 28 days for the enemies to sort of, I guess you could say, 28 in-game days for the enemies to sort of respawn and for those supplies to respawn in that area. Now, wellness. You must stay hydrated, fed, and rested to remain combat ready, which most likely means that you are going to basically, once again, need to stay well rested. You are going to need to stay hydrated, and you are going to need to sleep in the game for your character to sort of perform at 100% and be able to use all the perks and skills that he has at their 100% availability and capacity. Fatigue works like radiation but affects your action points rather than your hit points. The more fatigue you've built up, the less AP you'll have for other actions. So we all know AP affects VATS, things like sprinting and holding your breath underwater. So if your character becomes fatigued, it'll affect those things, which does kind of suck. So your character will need to sleep and stay hydrated and stay fed. That is very important, especially for fatigue. Sickness. Now this has to do with the antibiotics, like we said earlier, as the antibiotics, which can be crafted at chems or purchased from doctors, heal the various effects of sickness. Now sickness is going to be eating undercooked meat, drinking purified water, taking damage from disease-ridden resources such as ghouls and bugs, or using harmful chemicals. All put your body at increased risk for various infections, which basically means if you get there are going to be new infections in the game, like if you get bit by a ghoul, a bug, if you drink irradiated water, if you eat food, basically you eat non-cooked food, you are going to be at risk for infection, and you are most likely going to need an antibiotic to cure that infection or sickness, or you are going to need to go to an in-game doctor and sort of get your character fixed up. Anyways, guys, that's all the survival mode details we have for now. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy the video, remember to drop that like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow. Anyways, it's been your boy Freakeasy Gaming. I love each and every single one of you. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow, and remember, stay freaky. Oh my fucking god.